Good evening and welcome. My name is Mike Martz. The name of this stream is New Vegas Who Dis, and we are continuing. I did think for a moment that I should, after we finished stream yesterday, that I should go back and replay the killing of Mr. House, because I have the... Sorry, my controller isn't on. Because I have the snow globe. I won't do that because you know what? Let's not do that. So I'll just get that. Or maybe it's just a thing I'm gonna have to carry around. There was a suggestion that you can brain. I've completely forgotten. There was a suggestion that you use the console to reactivate Jane, but apparently that voids achievements, and if there's one thing I don't like, it's voiding achievements. So my foolishness will continue. And yeah. So let's go to the casino floor. Let me just look here. I don't think I have. Oh, I just have enough. Okay. Alright. Well, let's go do that then. Actually, I'm pretty weighted at the moment. Let's get rid of some stuff. Alright, because I've got a lot of stuff on me at the moment, and it's going to be a pain. So. Like the dress cane. Maria is a 9mm. We don't really play with 9mm, do we? Where are you? We've got the grenades. Grenades could be useful. Be able to repair some of those energy cells. Yeah. Cool. All right. But I really need to send some modules. Is there anything in here that has weight? Scrap electronics and scrap metal. But I need those. I figured probably most of the weight is being carried by this stuff. I don't need the machete. Get rid of you. Okay. Alright. That's good. Alright, we can work with this. I do want to find someone who can help with my really don't like that I'm working with Yes Man. I guess I should have just saved Yes Man for later, but I mean, I feel like at this point I'm doing a Yes Man run. Let me see. What is the... Where do I have to go for that? It says spread word of the atrocities. Oh, I have to go to the Mojave. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Alright.
Huh. So the Garretts sent you to track me down. What a joke.
How did you know that? I really don't want to, but...
I'd rather not waste the ammo, kid. But if you insist, draw.
Uh-oh. Oh, now he's killing me. Which I'd really rather he didn't.
I've got you now. You like that?
Thank you for your cooperation.
I mean, if I'm right here, like, why waste healing items when I can just go back to bed? Oh, I reckon the followers of the apocalypse would probably have a healer.
Always a
Oh,
pleasure.
because they've been upgraded now, so they've got the grizzled grrr face. We're going to the suite, correct? Alright. We head out once more. Yeah, I wasn't really planning on doing a Yes Man run. I had no real plans for it. Hold on. Game audio is a little bit loud. Prefer to have I prefer to have me loud but not peaking and game audio softer than me. That's generally how I like it to be. I got spurs that jingle, jangle, jingle.
For all your energy weapon needs.
Can I... Alright, well at least I'm not peeking over that, so I'm not getting the debuff. I mean, that's really what you're after, isn't it? No debuff.
Have you seen the news of Caratron?
Some gamblers came in saying they'd seen you enter the Lucky 38. I have to say, I'm impressed. I don't know of any other living person who's been in there.
Yeah, well, it's my digs now, sweetie cakes. Took care of McCaffrey.
Yes! Where's his hat?
Yeah.
This is great news. No one screws with the Garrett twins and gets away with it. I need to find a place on the wall for this. And for your reward, here's 150 caps. I trust there were also some valuables on McCaffrey.
Yeah, some guns.
Also, we would like to set you up with a room. You can have the corner room, rent-free. Here's
Hey!
McCaffrey's. Now that he's dead, we're happy to let you use it. Thanks for helping us.
I thank you very much.
Bye.
Lovely.
I pity anyone who gets testy with.
That's pretty cool. Oh, here we go. Robert Edwin House, 261, President, sole proprietor of the Las Vegas Strip. Industrious technologist, founder, president, and CEO of the multi-billion-dollar pre-war robotics and software corporation Robco Industries has died. Generally recognized by Mr. House to be mankind's only hope of long-term survival, Mr. House's passing may well sound the death knell for the entire human race. Lost forever. I didn't kill him. I just disconnected him from the mainframe. I didn't kill him. Lost forever is his bounty of human knowledge concerning human longevity, the depth and breadth of which could, as he was apt to say, fill several textbooks. He was not exaggerating, though he did not achieve his goal of functional immortality. I mean, I didn't kill him. Let us not forget he died at the age of 261. How many people could do that? I mean, come on. Who wrote this copy? Also, Lost Forever houses singular personality, force of will, vision, and leadership ability. The probability of an equally capable figure emerging from the current human population to lead mankind to a future of equivalent quality is less than 0.0001112% by objective measures too complex to detail in this obituary. Personality and force of... Oh, he was born in 2020. Balls deep in the pandemic. By 27, he was, and then there was the thingy, there was the war. That's the thing that surprises me, is that, like, he was able to, stop the bombs dropping. Like, the area around Vegas is... We'll revise and finish this up later. Have set to death's age up to Macaulay. Hope it makes sense. Pills before swine. Let's hope the ingrates never have cause to read it. Who knows how many of them are even literate. I mean, I didn't kill him. He's not dead.
Make a brief stop at the Atomic Wrangler.
Already dead. Sorry, I just flashed back to my Skyrim game where I can't solve the murder because the guards know me and then refuse to. Maybe I should commit like a low-level crime so that they have cause to arrest me, and then I can pay my fine and we'll be good. I don't know. We'll think about it.
We've got stuff we're not even allowed to see.
So what on earth am I doing here? Oh, right, there was this one.
Only at Mick and Ralph's.
Because she was over at, the Vault 21 gift shop. Let's go and talk to her and see what she's doing. If I can get through without killing her, I probably should have not killed McCaffrey, but I did. I love a kick in the head. And it sort of goes on like that.
Come on! Like that?
Never thought I'd be involved in random street crime. That sure was a noise, and I didn't much care for it. The real take-home from this is that we need to shut down all the hotels on the Las Vegas Strip.
Sure, later.
Always a pleasure.
Hello. Good to see you again.
They said that she worked the desk. Maybe she does work the desk, I don't know. Yeah, the noise is unsettling to me. Don't like rooms where there are apparently people, but there are no people. Why is everyone standing around?
More like
Don't worry. I'll stay out of trouble from now on. Honest.
Why were the EMSs out to kill you?
I may have overheard some things at Gamora that I passed on to the NCR. That's all. Honest.
So you work with the NCR? It was the Legion who sent me to protect you.
What? I only talked to Captain Curtis over at McCarran. I would never work at Slavers. Honest.
So you're a spy?
No. Well, not really. I mean, I'm not listening through doors or sneaking around or anything. People talk out loud, and I just pay attention. The NCR likes to keep tabs on the activities of the families. and they pay me good caps to hang around the casinos and keep my ears open.
Dangerous work.
It isn't normally. The NCR wanted me to just gamble and listen, nothing else.
Let's talk some.
I do odd jobs here and there, usually helping Sarah keep the vault tidy. I came to New Vegas to be a professional gambler. Too bad for me that the professional part isn't working out so good. But I love gambling, so I'm here to stay on the strip until they kick me out.
Alright.
House light. I already got himself unplugged.
Find yourself a girl or a guy. Have some fun.
I'm very confused. I feel like this thing is glitched. Maybe? Weird. What is going on with that? Because it's extremely likely that the game is just glitched and a flag has been tripped somewhere. That feels like something that this game would do. It is an Obsidian game, let us not forget.
Hello.
Right, it was a lockpick thing. Dehydration levels increased. Well, if only there was a toilet I could drink out of. Alone. Without a unglitchy game. Without a cap to my name. I don't know. Wait, no, penthouse, wrong place. Ah, delicious. Okay. Look, while I'm here, I might as well do the sleep thing. So I've got to kill time so I can unlock more lockpicking skills. Keep going. Automatically defaulting to the thingy, which I really shouldn't. Oh, alrighty then. You, sir, are drunk. Okay, not my problem. Unless they're chasing me, which they do not appear to be. Good evening. Ow. Ah! Just pulled a muscle in my neck. No, don't want to do that. It's not your first choice. Ah. That
We've
is.
got stuff we're not even allowed to sell, people. Only at Mick and Ralph's.
That's good to know. Alright. So. You know what? Let's just see what Caesar has to say. Sorry, Kaiser. I'm curious. My ignorance amuses me.
Hello.
Hi. Where is this place? Crimson Caravan. Oh. Interesting. So that's where they are.
You can't hide from me.
Sure I can. Another gate? Oh, that's the gate I came through. Okay.
Welcome, sir or madam.
I certainly am one of those two things. This is some impressive sorry, I'll take that again. That's some impressive weaponry. Where did it all come from?
All Gunrunner merchandise is constructed on site.
Hmm, cool. What is this place?
This is the New Vegas branch of the Gunrunners, supplying the wasteland with only the finest armaments since 2155.
What have you got for sale? All right, I have you. I think I want to keep those grenades. Combat armor reinforced, combat armor reinforced Mark II, combat helmet. Combat helmet. Metal helmet reinforced. I want to get a helmet. That's 4DT. And the combat helmet is 5DT. I'll get the... Use this combat helmet. Because things are getting pretty nasty out there in the wasteland and I want to be prepared for it. I ain't no courier no more. You know, one day I'm going to do this and just, you know, wear just normal clothes. I do like my fashion Fallout though. Maybe when I play Fallout 4. I don't know if 4 will be the next sci-fi game I play. Do I have Mass Effect? Well, who knows? I might play something completely different. We've got a long way to go because we've got this and then we've got all the DLC. NCR Sharecropper Farms. Alright. I wonder if I can just walk there, like go over to Hoover Dam and walk to the fort. I wonder if the game will let me do that. Let's see if I can do that. Part of me says no, but also I can't understand why it wouldn't. Been a weird weekend. I've just went out on Friday night, so just been kind of tired and shagged out all weekend. Oh, this is this pump station that didn't flag. Maybe we should go in there and have a look around. I am suspicious. East Cistern. Let's have a look in here and see what the story is. Maybe there might be some sensor modules in here, who knows? People obviously work here. Where is everybody? Just made the user interface. Damage doesn't even go in deep. That repair the network connection. Radiation is being detected by the filtration system. No leaks are detected within this facility. Please investigate external causes to correct this issue. Interesting. I'm always concerned when guns go off. I worry if it's my fault. Alright. Is there anything in here? Water appears clean, which would lead us to believe oh, that's actual coke? Sweet. And it still hasn't flagged as a location, which is absolutely baffling to me. Anyway, apparently we head straight from this way and we end up at the fort, so... don't really have a plan for what my next big RPG is going to be. Because I did want to play Shadowrun, but then that game glitched out on me and I couldn't, so... I don't know. Play something shorter. I've got a big list. Oh, you know what I could do? I could always boot up Alpha Protocol. Because I've been meaning to do that. That's another Obsidian game. Excellent game. Wonderful piece of spy-fi there. Really, really just a wonderful experience. if you ask me. What is up here? Because there is something up here in the rocks. Cannibal Johnson's Cave. A hollowed out rock. Okay. Oh, there it is. Let's go visit Cannibal Johnson, I suppose. Of the Mojave Johnsons, you see. Ow.
Well, it's about damn time. What took you? Oh,
Oh?
I've been in the Reaper's shadow for a long time now, and I thought he'd finally showed up to collect. He's just mocking me now.
Sounds like you're eager to die.
There's a twitch in my trigger finger. I've lost my eagle eyes, and the other day I could have sworn I heard Sergeant Dornan chewing me out. I'm old, and I'm starting to feel it. It's not pleasant, especially when you know your mind's slipping away. And we all gotta go sometime. But I was hoping for something a little more heroic.
Who's Sergeant Dornan?
He was a drill instructor I knew. He was also the meanest bastard I've ever known. Once he caught this private out of uniform, and old Dornan went off on the most ear-blistering rant known to man. It was inspiring.
You served in the military?
Yeah. It was a long time ago. Things were better back then.
Tell me about yourself.
What do you want to know?
You're a cannibal?
I'm not saying. It's part of my mystique, after all.
Sounds like there's an interesting story behind it.
The truth of it is that I did cut out a raider's heart, but only took a bite to mess with his buddies. They had me surrounded, and I went with the first thing that came to mind. Some ran, and the rest were startled just long enough.
So you live out here by yourself?
Sure do. Had a wife for a while. Tribal girl. Really pretty eyes. But she's been gone a long time now. Well,
Alright.
be seeing you. Maybe.
What a weird little interaction. I feel like there is more to do here. Coyotes, more ants. Huh. Apparently not. Apparently this is it. Night Stalker. What is that? What is a night? It looks like a cross between a coyote and a phone going off. Shush. I always forget to turn my phone off. What do you mean? My phone was on vibrate. Why am I getting sound alerts? What is a Night Stalker? It's like a horrifying... Yeah, it's coyote and rattlesnake. I thought it looked like a coyote hybrid. I was like, what the hell is all this about? And anyway, I gone and got myself. Horrifying creatures. Anyway, can I see the fort from here? I'm assuming it's over there. This is, I want to say this is Camp Forlorn Hope. I may, however, be mistaken. This is another of those moments when I'm flashing back to listening to Magnus Archives, because I remember listening to the episode where he interviews Brecon. I remember listening to that one very fondly while exploring this area. So that'd be Boulder City over there, wouldn't it? Also, you may have noticed that I switch pronunciation between coyote and coyote. It's because I don't have any real basis for the word in my lexicon. It's not a word that I use that often, so I just use whichever I feel like using at the time. Sometimes I'll call it a coyote, sometimes I'll call it a coyote. That looks like a leak. Can I repair the leak? Nope. Okay, what is this? No, this isn't Camp Forlorn Hope. No, Camp Forlorn Hope is up at the ridge. What is this? Camp Golf.
Howdy, great to see you.
What do you think of Camp Golf?
Oh, it's a fine place. The lake is real pretty, and we don't get bothered much by them Legion fellers.
Goodbye.
Toodaloo.
I'm assuming you aren't associated with the Army or the Rangers. What can I do for you?
Did you see the nerd? You in charge around here?
In a strictly official capacity, no. However, as I am by far the most intelligent and resourceful figure on this base, I feel it's safe to say the soldiers here look up to me.
So that's a no then.
I suppose if you must stick with your narrow, parochial view of in charge, then yes, it's a no. Are we done?
Alright. I don't really have any reason to be here. Oh, it's Camp Golf because it's the golf course. That would make sense. I'm going to have to go into the water at some point. Suppose the best plan would be to cross the dam itself. Oh God. Forgot about Lake Lurks. So there's just such wonderful ambience going on here. It felt... Yeah. Ranger Station Alpha.
Patrolling the Mojave almost makes you wish for a nuclear winter.
Sure doesn't.
Nice job out there.
No problem.
This post isn't someplace a civilian ought to be.
Sorry, I just every time I hear this voice actor, I don't know who it is. It's but I hear him and I'm just like, it's Dio. Dio VLR voice actor. Liam O'Brien. Alright. Liam O'Brien, American voice actor. Oh, he is Critical Role. I was like, I'm pretty sure he's a Critical Role guy. I don't watch Critical Role, but I was just like, I'm pretty sure this voice is one of the guys from Critical Role. There you go. He was in Final Fantasy 13, 2, and Lightning Returns. He was in Nier. He was Gollum in the Shadow series, the Middle-earth Shadow series, which I didn't know. He was in Utena, Hack Legend of the Twilight, Standalone Complex, Paranoia Agent. I'm just looking, seeing a lot of stuff that he was in. It was Naruto. Oh, it was Tsubasa in Kanazuki no Miko. He was in Haruhi. Recent Sailor Moon, which is the only Sailor Moon I've watched. He's done some Marvel stuff, and actually he's just done Disney stuff. It's all Disney stuff now, isn't it? Film, animated films. Yeah, just animated films. Video games, let's have a look here. Yeah, he's in Hack Video Games. He was in Dirge of Cerberus. Wait, Dirge of Cerberus was 2006? Huh. P3, P3R. Professor Layton. Additional voices in DAO. Mad World, a game that I owned and never played. Saboteur, a game my missus owns and I've never played. FF13, yep, New Vegas. I was the ghost in StarCraft 2. Cool. Yeah, I was playing Catherine earlier and off stream, and I noticed he was in that. Sorry, I know I'm just scrolling through this man's Wikipedia, but I find it interesting. Last of Us, XCOM Declassified. Do we even care about XCOM Declassified these days? Like, I remember it was a big thing at the time, but I feel like that's just a game that's been forgotten. Like, I don't know. I don't feel like that's a game that anyone cares about. He's done Hearthstone work. He was in Evil Within. He was in The Order. Oh, he was in Mad Max. I do have Mad Max, and I would like to play it, because I played a little bit of it, and I thought that while not perfect, it did feel a little like an American's take on Max. I felt like it had some interesting ideas. Oh, he was in Far Harbor. I should really play that. Yeah, he's in Fallout. He was in Kingdoms of Amalur. I really do mean to play Kingdoms of Amalur on screen. Okay. Alright. Anything going on around here?
Just the usual. Legion scouts try to slip across the river a couple of times a week, but they always end up floating downriver with holes in their heads.
I think he means they killed them. What is this place?
Ranger Station Alpha. Ranger Lineholm is in command here.
Okay. Tell me about the Rangers.
I'm not really much of a historian. The short version is that the Rangers are the elite of the NCR military. Best fighters in the wasteland.
So I need to talk to Lineholm then. Okay. Lineholm. Nope.
We got ourselves a little Ranger family reunion now. This is a military outpost. Why are you here?
Any interesting places around here?
Have you ever heard the story of the bomber that crashed into the lake before the war? Supposedly it's mostly intact, even after all that time.
You're a Ranger.
For about 10 years now. Toughest training I've ever done, and was the proudest day of my life when I got my Ranger badge. Did you know that the first battle at Hoover Dam was won because of the Rangers? Legion had the numbers, but we had the skill.
So what do you do here?
Ranger Station Alpha used to be the frontline outpost for NCR. When we moved on to the dam, this station has fallen into more a support role.
Alright. So apparently nothing to do at the Ranger Station yet.
We got ourselves a little Ranger.
Okay, so apparently
family
sleeping
reunion.
doesn't recover my health. I guess that's because I'm on hardcore mode.
For feud.
I guess I forgot that. He says, I guess I forgot that. I did forget that. Alright, what's on down here? Boulder Beach Campground. Okay. That is a lake lurk, and I saw that. Oh, there are two of them. Oh, there's two of them. There's three of them? Oh dear. Ow. I don't know, could be useful. I feel like what I should have done is lead them. Lead them towards the Rangers, but anyway. Really? Okay, well I've got some gecko steaks, if nothing else, which is useful. Sorry. Yeah, one of the big ways to get me to pay attention to your stream is by playing Virtue's Last Reward. It's at this point it's a game that I don't really have any desire to play ever again in my life. I've got all the achievements. I guess I could do another run on another account. But it's just not something I really have any desire to do. What I do love doing is watching other people stream it. Because it's, you know, it's a visual novel, so it's got a wide amount of, like, you know, interaction, how, you know, and how people play with it is different because you can choose the order you play with them. And I do think it's the best of the Zero Escape games. Fascinating that this is clear water. That surprises me. Can I jump? I can. Oop. Oop. Damn it, hold on. maybe I can jump it? No? Okay, it doesn't want to. Doesn't want me to do jumpy jumpies. So there will be no jumpy jumpies today. The question is, how do we get into the fort from this side? Because one would assume that there is a way. Oh, hold on, can I? Of course, my current plan is to Skyrim my way up around, but who knows if that's going to happen. But anyway. Don't know why can't I come up? Okay, there is straight up an invisible wall there, which is bull crap. Oop. Yeah, there's just an invisible wall here, and that's lazy level design. What is this? That is a boat. Which I then expect raises the question of what's this a boat? Okay, we have a boat. What is this boat? It's just like some kind of pleasure cruiser boat. Oh! Mutilated organs. Lovely. Lake Mead Cave. Ah, the cave is there. Right. Absolutely gripping television, I know. Hunger level is increased. Do we have any food? Oh, right, we have all those steaks. Which are probably all now deeply wet, but shush. And invisible walls again! Yay! We love lazy level design. Like, why even let us come over here if you're just going to block us off? And I'm almost positive that this is going to be an invisible wall too. Yeah. Okay. So there's nothing here. Which is useless to us. Yay! So I guess I'll just fast travel to Conlon Cove. Maybe if I'd gone the other way and actually on top of the brain dam, things may have been different, but nope. All right. Welcome to Cottonwood Cove with the Jurassic Park font going on there, or indeed a variant thereof. It definitely looked like the Jurassic Park font. And my brain went to the big theme of the da 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 da, as opposed to the one that you're probably thinking of, which is the wonky melodic cover of the, which is exactly how it sounds.
Are you ready to travel to the fort?
I am.
The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat.
Sure. I feel like...
By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items.
I feel like the NCR won't like me cavorting
True to Caesar.
with the Oh, that's the fast travel point? Why? But that's not where the fast travel point is on the map. That's dumb. You're dumb.
Howdy again.
Do you have any sensor modules? You don't. Wait, no, that's my stuff. Only weapons. Okay.
You see?
True to cut.
Look, I don't like them, but they're going to give me money in order to do things that I was already going to do. So, like, why would I not?
Our way. True to Caesar.
I've read Mr. House's obituary. Had a high opinion of himself, didn't he? With Mr.
Sorry, hold on.
A few lingering complications elsewhere in the Mojave. First up are the boomers of Nellis Air Force Base. A tribe so reclusive it lobs artillery shells at anyone who comes near their settlement. I want you to offer them an alliance with my legion. My terms are simple. Target their guns against the NCR side of the dam when I assault it, and they can keep their freedom. If you find they aren't amenable to this offer, destroy them.
I have some questions to ask.
What did you want to know?
Tell me about the boomers.
The boomers settled at the old air base northeast of Vegas many years ago. No one knows exactly how long it's been. It may be that no one's traded with them or even spoken to them that entire time. If so, they're sitting on one hell of a stockpile of ammunition.
Don't you know anything about this society?
My scouts have seen people moving around the base. The perimeter's guarded, with spotters in towers directing the artillery fire. They must have extraordinary vision. Some of my scouts were targeted at extreme distances. So no, I can't tell you what to expect inside the base. No one's been inside it, except them.
Let's talk about something else.
What else did you want to know?
Are your bodyguards special in any way?
My Praetorians embody the martial ideals of my legion. Each one of them has done enough conquering and killing
to deserve the rank of Centurion. Instead, I invited them to join my guard. So the invitee chooses whichever current guard he thinks is weakest and challenges him. The fight is to the death. It keeps them from getting complacent.
How long has Lucius been the head of your Praetorians?
Lucius has been the head of my guard for 5 years now. He was a subordinate guard for 8 before that. No invitee has dared to challenge him yet. Maybe it's an issue of respect. He is getting on in years.
Let's talk about something else.
What else did you want to know?
Tell me about Vulpes Inculta.
Vulpes is the best of
Sorry,
my
Vulpes.
Frumentari. A remarkable individual from an unremarkable tribe south of the Utah. He was brought into the Legion as a boy, survived training, fought well enough as a legionary to be promoted to the rank of Decanus. Then in battle against an unimportant tribe, he broke ranks and led his contubernium through a hole in their defenses to capture its chieftain. Well, his Centurion wanted him crucified for disobedience, so I made him a Frumentari.
What did the Frumentari do?
Whatever I require. Infiltration, assassination, dramatic atrocities to break the spirit of the enemy, etc. They're mentally flexible. They operate behind enemy lines for extended periods, imitating the enemy's customs without becoming sullied. In all these things, Vulpes is a master. What else did you want to know?
I've heard rumors of your legate Lanius. What's his story?
Linnaeus is the greatest of my battlefield commanders. Some might call him a great man, but I'm not sure he qualifies. Once, he was the greatest warrior of the Hydebarks, a tribe of the Arizona. Maniacal in battle. Sometimes he'd ambush Legion patrols by himself. When after several months we found and surrounded the Hydebarks camp, their chieftain raised a banner of surrender. The warrior, who was not yet Linnaeus, went insane with rage. He struck down his chieftain and attacked his own tribe.
What happened when Linnaeus attacked his own tribe?
He killed 15 before they brought him down. He didn't die, obviously. I had him tended to. He was maimed, most of his face torn off. It was days before he regained consciousness. When he did, I went to his bedside and showed him the helmet I'd had forged to cover his face. I said he could have it if he'd fight for me. He accepted, on condition that he be allowed to kill the surviving males of his tribe. I said, make it the adult males, and you have a deal.
He sounds more like a savage than a general.
Linnaeus is savage. Savagely loyal, too, but only to me. He has no love for my legion. But this has its uses. He has no attachment to his men, no compunction about battlefield losses. All he cares about is destroying the enemy. When another legatus or a centurion fails to achieve results, I send Linnaeus to make things right. His first step is to beat the failed commander to death in front of his assembled troops. Then he orders the ritual of decimatio.
Decimation. Killing 1/10 of the group.
It means decimation. But in ancient Rome, the word had a very specific meaning. A punishment for cowardice. The legionaries are lined up in ranks. Every 10th man steps forward and is beaten to death by his brothers. It instills a certain robust obedience.
So Linnaeus will I'll take that again. Linnaeus will lead the assault on Hoover Dam?
Yes. This time my legionaries will be more frightened of the commander behind them than the enemy before them. There will be no failure this time, no retreat, no years of gathering slaves and resources for another assault. With Linnaeus to drive the legion forward, the dam will be taken. It will be our bridgehead across the Colorado.
Why did the Legion lose the first battle?
It's not going to happen again. That's all I have to say about it.
I've heard the commander of the first battle called the Burned Man.
And I've heard it's a bad idea to tempt the wrath of Caesar. change the subject.
Oh, you're scared of the Bernard, man.
What else did you want to know?
How did you capture Benny?
I'll hand it to that piece of shit. He was determined. He used some kind of old-world stealth device to get across the river in a Legion boat. Seems the device ran out of juice once he got here, but he was dressed like a legionary. He was caught just outside the weather station. See, thing is, he didn't change his hairstyle. To go to all that effort and fail because you're too vain to muss your hair.
What happened after Benny was caught?
He was brought before me along with the platinum chip. That's how I knew he wasn't some kind of profligate infiltrator. Benny tried to sell me a story, but Lucius has a way of coaxing the truth out of captives. Everything just comes spilling out.
What do you think of the NCR?
Do you want my opinion as a former citizen or future conqueror? Actually, my opinion's the same either way. As a young man, I was taught to venerate President Tandy of Shady Sands, the founding mother of the new California Republic. Did you know her presidency lasted 52 years? And that her father, Aradesh, was the Republic's first president? Does that sound like a democracy to you? Or a hereditary dictatorship?
President Tandy was voted into office each time.
Because the council didn't dare oppose her. She was too popular. She had the people's love. So things ran smoothly, more or less. And as soon as she was gone, as soon as there really could be democracy, what happened then? Ever since losing its queen, the NCR has been weaker, more diffuse. Democracy has been its weakness, not its strength.
I mean, the argument could be made that true democracy loses a degree of its power over wide areas and large populations. I don't know. How is the NCR weak?
Greed runs rampant. The government is corrupt, accepting bribes from Brahmin barons and landowners to the detriment of citizens. The NCR is a loose conglomerate of individuals looking out for themselves. It's lost virtue. No one cares about the collective, the greater good. It's not built to last. I'm just hastening the inevitable.
Surely the NCR is a powerful foe.
Of course. The most powerful my legion has faced. Also the first to which I am ideologically opposed. Until now, every tribe I've conquered has been so backwards and stunted, enslavement has been a gift bestowed upon them. My conquest of the Mojave will be a glorious triumph, marking the transition of the Legion from a basically nomadic tribe to a genuine empire. Just as my namesake campaigned in Gaul before he crossed the Rubicon, so have I campaigned and will cross the Colorado.
Let's talk about something else. What did you know about Mr. House?
I know he's dead. I know he's no longer a factor. That's all I need to know. Losers don't matter in the history books. He's a fucking footnote.
Jeez. What role will regional powers play in the conflict?
I've analyzed the region's tribes to determine how they might be useful. I may tell you more at a later time, if it suits me. What else did you want to know?
How did you rise to power?
Ironically, I was born a profligate myself, a citizen of the NCR. My family lived not far from the Great Boneyard. After raiders killed my father, my mother sought the followers' protection. I was 2 years old. She found work at their library, cooking and cleaning. I learned how to read, and soon I was taking courses, free of charge.
You're a follower of the apocalypse?
Oh yes, raised in that tradition. And the teaching stuck. I was taught it was my responsibility to bring the torch of knowledge to the waste. I may have taken the torch part more literally than they intended.
What changed you from follower to dictator?
When I was 20, the followers sent me east to Grand Canyon. It was my first expedition. Just me and a physician named Calhoun. As an anthropologist and linguist, My assignment was to learn the dialects of the Grand Canyon tribes. What a fucking waste of time.
Why would learning dialects be a waste of time?
If you think it's worthwhile to make smart people learn how to talk like backward savages, you're a follower of the apocalypse. Or an idiot. Anyway, we met up with a Mormon missionary who already knew a bunch of dialects. Joshua Graham. He was supposed to teach me, but before that went too far, the Blackfoot tribe captured us to hold us for ransom. They were a backward bunch, but the real problem was they didn't know how to fight.
What was wrong with the Blackfoot?
The Blackfoot were at war with 7 other tribes, each just as pissant as they were. But outnumbered like that, they weren't going to last long. It's one thing to be taken hostage, another to be lashed to a sinking ship. So over Calhoun's objections, I decided to take certain steps.
What steps did you take?
I taught them how to use the guns they already had, how to strip and clean them, how to breathe when pulling a trigger, how to reload ammunition. They looked at me like I was some kind of a sorcerer. So I taught them how to make explosives and started drilling them on small unit tactics. If there's anything I learned as a follower of the apocalypse, it's that there's a lot of good information in old books.
He's not wrong. What happened after you trained the Blackfoot?
Divide et impera, divide and conquer. I led the Blackfoot against the Ridgers, their weakest enemy. When they refused to surrender, I ordered every man, woman, and child killed. When next we surrounded the Kaibabs, and they likewise refused, I took one of their envoys to the Ridgers' village and showed him the corpse piles. This was new for the tribes, you see. They played at war, raiding each other, a little rape and pillage here, a little ransoming there. I showed them total warfare. Like I said, there's a lot you can learn from old books.
What happened to the tribes?
Kaibabs joined me, and the Fredonians after that. All the pissant tribes with names that should be forgotten. I knew from the start I'd need to eradicate this plague of tribal identities, replacing them with a monolithic culture, a uniform identity. So that's what I did once my confederation of tribes was large enough. I crowned myself Caesar and created a single great tribe, my legion. I sent Calhoun, the follower captured with me, back west with a message that I should not be interfered with. Joshua Graham, the Mormon interpreter, stayed with me and served as my first legatus.
And since forming the Legion, all you've done is conquer other tribes?
That's right. Decades of warfare, absorbing lesser tribes, gathering power, forging the dross into a vast, razor-sharp scythe. My Legion's expansion has never ceased. Much of the Utah and Colorado and all of Arizona and New Mexico are mine. We have cities of our own, but nothing compared to Vegas. Finally, my Legion will have its Rome. What else?
I mean, you can't deny he's forming a unique society. You know, it's you know, somewhat post-apocalyptic, somewhat, you know, based on, you know, Imperial Rome. I don't know. I almost feel like I can't really judge because the society is so fundamentally different to our own. I don't know. Why is Caesar's Legion so strange?
I used Imperial Rome as the model for my Legion precisely because it was so foreign, so alien. I'd seen what had become of the NCR's attempts to emulate the culture of pre-war America, the infighting, the corruption. Rome was a highly militarized autocracy that effectively integrated the foreign cultures it conquered. It dedicated its citizens to something higher than themselves, to the idea of Rome itself. In Rome, I found a template for a society equal to the challenges of the post-apocalyptic world, a society that could and would survive, a society that could prevent mankind from fracturing and destroying itself in this new world by establishing a new Pax Romana.
Like, again, I struggle to, like, disagree with his philosophy. Like, yeah, you know, the premise of the series is that war never changes, and in this world you need a war-focused society, and the NCR trying to emulate America pre-war doesn't make any sense because it was America pre-war that led to this. I'm struggling to find fault with him, and I really shouldn't because he's a terrible person.
It means a nationalist, imperialist, totalitarian, homogenous culture that obliterates the identity of every group it conquers. Long-term stability at all cost. The individual has no value beyond his utility to the state, whether as an instrument of war or production.
So you'll destroy the NCR because you hate its inefficiencies?
No. I'll destroy it because it's inevitable that it be destroyed. It's Hegelian dialectics, not personal animosity.
Jesus, we're getting Hegel up in here?
How do I put this basically enough? It's a philosophical theory, the kind you might encounter if you took time to read some books. The fundamental premise is to envision history as a sequence of dialectical conflicts. Each dialectic begins with a proposition, a thesis, which inherently contains or creates its opposite, an antithesis. Thesis and antithesis. The conflict is inevitable. But the resolution of the conflict yields something new, a synthesis, eliminating the flaws in each, leaving behind common elements and ideas.
So, what's dialectic about you and the NCR?
The bombs wiped the slate clean. Human civilization descended to a level of ignorance that effectively set our cultural progress back to zero. The NCR has all the problems of the ancient Roman Republic. Extreme bureaucracy, corruption,
Yep.
extensive senatorial infighting.
Yep.
Just as with the ancient Republic, it is natural that a military force should conquer and transform the NCR into a military dictatorship. Thesis and antithesis. The Colorado River is my Rubicon. The NCR Council will be eradicated. But the new synthesis will change the Legion as well. From a basically nomadic army to a standing military force that protects its citizens and the power of its dictator.
Yeah, here's the thing, is that it's fundamentally based around the strength of Kaiser as a person, and are there any successes to Kaiser that can keep the state strong?
What else did you want to know?
What's that machine in your tent?
It's called an autodoc. As the name suggests, it's an automated physician, more or less. He can treat broken bones, cuts, punctures, scrapes. Sometimes I bestow its use upon someone I favor. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture that forbids painkillers and is largely ignorant of medical science.
I'll handle the boomers.
Good. Your first challenge will be to reach their settlement without getting blown up. After that, should be easy.
Alright, I should probably talk with the NCR now. Because the last thing I want to do is get so popular with the Legion that the NCR hates me by default. So...
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the Burned Man again.
Yeah, interesting that. I actually 100% forget the plot of Honest Hearts. As far as DLC goes, it has just completely just washed off of me, and I have no idea what it's about. Which will be interesting when we get to it. Wait, where am I going? Yeah, that's the thing. There, okay. Right.
Some of the slaves have been spreading stories about the Burned Man again.
What's down here? This looks interesting. Maybe nothing, but, you know, we never know unless you give it a look. Huh. Well, it was something.
Now that Mr. House is gone, might be opportunities on the strip for an enterprising merchant.
I felt the earth shake when the evil below the fort was destroyed.
I just don't like robots.
Awe, are you ready to return to Cottonwood Cove?
Yeah, sure.
Very well.
Alright. So, look, I mean, let's actually go back to the Mojave Outpost. And actually report back, because I didn't realize that's where we had to go for that quest. I was so focused on getting to Novak that I didn't even think, so... Let's go do that. And maybe if I'm lucky, we can get some, can get some sensor modules on the way.
Awe. The warlord House thought himself beyond Caesar's reach, and now he is dead.
Hey there.
That tower on the strip, the one you can see for miles, I hear it ain't sealed up no more.
Something else you wanted? What? There's no way. We're miles from the Colorado. They aren't even waiting for the dam to fall. They're already inside the borders. We'll never stop them. Not at this rate. We're doomed. Thanks for bringing the word. Even if the news is bad, I'll let the men know. Nice job out there.
Back again, I see. Help? Oh, well, you could speak to Ranger Jackson. He might have something for you. He sort of runs things around here. Mostly ends up sending reports back west that aren't filled with the best news. Something else you needed? I'm short-handed here. Well, about time we got a soldier, and not a recruit. You look like you've seen some action. I need to get the caravans moving again. That means clearing a path north. There's too much crawling the asphalt up the road to allow it. Soldiers, no. Recruits, yes. And the Mojave Outpost has been ordered to have a standing force at the NCR perimeter at all times. So sending anyone out reduces the outpost's numbers, and would be in direct violation of my orders from back west. Sending more troops, yes. To reinforce the outpost, no. Troops head through here on their way to McCarran, or to the front lines at Forlorn Hope. Or they're on leave, on their way to New Vegas to piss away their pay. All of them passing through. Frustrated? No, I have my orders. Signed and approved all the way up the chain from Kimball. And I understand the reasons. The outpost isn't a Legion target, yet. Not like Vegas or the dam. But if the caravans get choked here, that's gonna bite NCR hard. Anyway, didn't mean to talk your ear off. Some days, just feel like more requisition forms and daily reports come across my desk than results. Help? Now look, I appreciate... you know what? Yes, I could use the help. And you look like you can handle yourself. I need to get the caravans moving again. That means clearing a path north. There's too much crawling the asphalt up the road to allow it. Thanks, I appreciate it. Come back here when you're done. I might accidentally lose some supplies to pay you with.
Hi, welcome back. Sorry about that. Just had to have a wee bit of a meeting, but luckily it was the kind of meeting that I could just mute and we could keep playing games. So yeah, talking about ideas, we've got ideas. Things are happening. All right, so for those who came in late, or have maybe come back, sorry, I also just got an ice cream. We are... What are we doing? What was that quest I just picked up? Okay, right. Clearing the road for the caravans. Hear about in Australia in the news that work can no longer clear after hours now? Yes, I did. This was not a work meeting. This was my beloved wife wanting to work on stuff, and we needed to throw some ideas at the wall. So alright. Who knows, you might see my name on something, or maybe not. Right. still need a sensor module, and I also need to get rid of my radiation, because a lot happened while I was off mic. Like, there was this area, I think, that was highly irradiated, I think. And then we went into the RUS cave. Anyway.
One of the ranger vets looked at me, and I just about surrendered.
Hey.
Hey. All right. Yeah, and there's been this guy in the news who's been like, oh, it's dumb that, you know, employees can't, you know, call you after work, and it's like, that's
New
the
face
point.
in the outpost. Must have come from the north. So, what do you have?
Any work around here?
Work around here? Might check with Jackson in the main building, or Ghost up on the roof above, but watch out. She's kind of a bitch. Don't tell her I said that, though. Might take a bullet some night when I'm going to the latrine.
I really need just like a medic or something. But anyway, anything you tell me about the outpost?
Not too much. A lot of caravans going nowhere. A lot of troopers going nowhere, too. Few prospectors here and there, but they don't do more than stink up the place. Everybody's backed up here. You'd think it'd be good for business, but most of the traders are tight with the caps, even the larger caravan outfits.
What do you have for trade?
Take a look.
That's for exceptions where jobs where you kind of need. Yeah, like I worked in an office where I won't go into details, but basically we had an after-hours phone line, and in that case, one of the person's responsibilities for which they were paid was answering calls after work. What's different about my plasma pistol? $36.49. That is a better plasma pistol. I want that plasma pistol.
Looking for trouble?
Hi, Cass. I want to ask some questions about the outpost.
Got no time or answers for you. Ask a drifter in need of a few caps. They'll give you all the answers you need. All right? No, I'm not all right. Drinking to forget, and it's only getting me mad instead. Whiskey always gets my temper up, now more than ever. Drinking used to cause all sorts of trouble back west. Before I punched enough people, that is. And they learned to lay low when the whiskey hit. Lost my caravan heading north. The driver burned to ash. And they didn't even take the cargo, they just burned that too. My guess is Legion. They're trying to cut NCR's supply line. And the Mojave outpost is proof. Got us locked up tighter than a New Vegas virgin. No caravans in, out, and just try arguing with Jackson about it. Roads aren't safe, he says. No shit, you washed out old fuck-up. I didn't need a Brotherhood scribe to tell me that. Yeah, he's been with NCR so long, all he can see is the worst outcome of everything. So he doesn't do anything. Jackson won't let me head north. It's not safe. And even though my caravan's gone, my caravan papers are keeping me here. So if you came here for work, my advice, go find the Crimson Caravan branch south of Vegas. They can help you out. What's on your mind?
Alright.
Don't eat. If the statues of two men shaking hands I'm speaking figurative. Isn't any blood on
Find
their damn
Cass more
hands.
obnoxious every time I hear her talk.
Of course, when Caesar
Not among my
comes
favorite
walking through
followers.
Here, there'll be blood for real. And after the blood dries in the
I
sun,
I
he'll
don't
melt
use
that
followers,
piece
and
of
I'm not going to be
jet
using
into
followers on this
sculpture
one because
down
they
and
die.
reshape it into a bull, which by my reckoning is making up for a deficiency of his. But no matter what the state of his pecker, he's sure giving the West a good fucking. One's a ranger, one's an NCR trooper, supposed to represent unification of West and East, or some such shit. As far as those two iron lovebirds go, they've got more spine you'll see in a year from the NCR government.
I think they're both rangers, one desert, one NCR.
Huh. Maybe you're right. Brimtats always throw me off. Well, fine, whatever. They can be shaking each other's dicks. Wouldn't change the Mojave now. If you're looking to... Caravan works up north. Still, if you got a... Jackson, he was looking to try...
Okay. You bring democracy, NCR troopers, yes. I don't know.
You a courier? If so, this might be your lucky day. If you don't mind walking a bit. And your eyes are good.
If I can help, I'm here to assist.
Maybe Jackson got some additional soldiers after all. Didn't take you for a trooper at first. You seem a little livelier than most. Alright, if you're here to assist, good. That's what I want to hear.
What's the problem?
I think there's trouble in Nipton. No traffic from there on the roads. And while I can explain that away, the smoke from the town I can't. I'm sure it's been hit. What I need to know is if they survived it. Might be powder gangers with all that smoke in the air. If there's anybody left, they'd be at the town hall. Go there. Check it out.
About that. Yeah, Legion turned that sinkhole into a graveyard.
Legion this far west? You're fucking kidding me. That's not outside the border. They're moving in, and fast. Nipton wasn't the most friendly town, but... Alright, thanks for checking on that. Wish it set my mind at ease. Now I'm more on edge than ever.
Didn't mean to be the bearer of bad news. Sorry, I'm not going to play the game. I just played through enough times. Yeah, it's been years for me, and I've got a Steam account that has no achievements on it. Well, I mean, I've got some achievements now, but it's as good as a reason as any.
Unless you burn the town, don't take blame that's not due. Things are going to get uglier before the year's out. Well, thanks for hoofing it there and back, even if it was bad news. Wish we could spare the troops to go hunting, but orders are to stay put. Fucking Mojave's going to hell, and all I can do is sit here and watch.
Wow, I just did a whole quest without doing anything.
Thanks for the assist.
And I leveled up? That's amazing. Alright, so what did I need to do? Right, lockpicking to get into that door. Let's just sink everything in a lockpicking.
Others around here had your drive.
Man, just straight up free. So is what is Project Mojave? That it can't be putting it into the Skyrim engine. It's got to be something else, right?
Sheriff.
Clear out the critters on the road to Ivanpah Lake.
That should keep the powder gangers away.
But in case you weren't here earlier, we had a good sequence where we just sat down and talked with Kaiser, and I was just blown away. Fallout 4 engine, fantastic. No, that'd be great. We were just talking with Kaiser, and I just loved it. It was nice. It was well written. It was interesting. He was talking about philosophy, and I found myself really struggling to find fault with him. You know, like, because, like, yeah, okay, you know, it's bad that, you know, like, you're promoting all these people dying, but on the other hand, you know, like, where do I get off with telling these people how to live their lives in a, you know, post-apocalypse? I don't know. Yeah, honestly, I'm not really generally that interested in, like, high, like, fan remakes or fan mods and things. I'm not trying to shame people who are, it's just that's not really my thing. Uh-oh. It's like I very rarely use mods. Sorry. It's like back when I played Fallout 3. I used a mod for updated lighting. And what I want to do is I want to get a mod list for Oblivion. I want a good mod list for Oblivion. I don't necessarily need like a big graphical update. I just want one that makes the people not look so squishy. Alright, is that it? No? Okay. Go back to Ranger Jackson. Given how much that game can crash, you need to visit any mod list. Oh, yeah! It's like, because a bunch of streamers I follow have picked up Oblivion again. And I'm like, I do miss that game. I like the faction stuff. I thought the faction stuff was actually really cool.
Hello.
Working another Skyrim mod list right now. Decided to do some streams again after 9 years, so Skyrim crowd control can be fun myself. Skyrim crowd control can be gloriously unhinged, and I love it, but that's not how I roll.
Been doing a lot of good work out there, setting an example for the others. I know Ranger Jackson appreciates it.
It's Dio again!
Me? I'm Knight. Major Knight. I've been stuck here dealing with
He's
these
a clone of
caravans
Lef.
for ages now, but somebody's got to do it.
Main quest and factions are... Yeah, no. It's like, that's like one thing that I don't like about Skyrim. Like, I love the world, I love the actual mechanics and everything, it's fantastic, but I find that the actual plotline of the faction quests are, I don't know, like, okay, Thieves Guild I quite like. But the Civil War feels undercooked. I don't like the college. Yeah, that's the thing for me, you know, because like I'm an RP streamer, so not that you'd necessarily recognize from the nonsense I've been getting up to today, but
Appreciate the help. Wish I had more work for you, but nothing else on the radar at the moment.
you mentioned reward before.
No, I mentioned you might accidentally get supplied, and I meant it. Not allowed to contract mercenaries at the outpost. Still, a requisition form or two can get lost, and they're not gonna come check. So here you go, just between us.
Ooh. Caravan lunch. Ooh, weapon repair kits. Bottle caps. Oh, you spoil me, darling.
Hey.
So what's this service rifle? Let's have a look at that. 5.56. Oh, it's an assault rifle, is it? Okay. So like take this game for instance, you know, it starts off with him just like, I don't know, not liking robots. You know, I don't trust Victor. And then I find out that there's a bunker full of Securitrons under there. So it's like, alright, well, you know, let's blow up the Securitrons. We'll do it for myself.
Hey there.
I'd like to see your wares, please. Probably not, but no, it doesn't. And then all of a sudden, like, House is, like, pissed off because we blew up his bunker. And it's like, well, okay, well, I've locked myself out of the House Always Wins now. I didn't mean to. And then turns out I'm working a lot with the Legion, you know. The people who I literally saw do all that because, I mean, let's be honest, you know, say what you want, but Caesar is just really charismatic, and I don't know, he just makes a lot of good points. I do wonder what his succession plan is, because I don't... Like, he must have thought that far ahead. He's got the auto dock. He knows he's dying, right? I'm just... I don't know. Red Scorpion? Ooh, sorry, there's 20 gauge in there as well. I think Legion is screwed when he died. Maybe we'll find. Yeah, that's right. Cause I've not watched Fallout. The girls at the office thought it was great. Really loved it, and like they're not gamers. but they thought it was amazing. I do think it's hilarious the people who were like, they refer to, like, was it Walton Goggins' character or something as like the ghoul, and they just show a picture of like some random ghoul, like, oh yeah, you know, this character, and it's like, those are two different characters. But yeah, because at the end they like flash over to Vegas, don't they? I think I remember reading that. But it's like, that's, you know, it's, what was his name? Belisarius? The general who got, like, the Byzantine, well, not Byzantine, the Eastern Roman general who got really close to, you know, potentially being able to retake, oh, that's right, there's no one in here, is there? Because they all died. To retaking Rome. And it's a case of like, well, you know, you need strong armies and strong leaders as well, and I just don't think, slight hit, that part of the plot will be in New Vegas next season. I feel like they would be leaving money on the table if they didn't. And while we're at it, no, I have not watched a single second of The Rings of Power. And I feel like obliged to say that because I have made my love of the Legendarium very well known here. And I honestly, why, when casting anyone as Tom Bombadil, do you decide, yes, Rory Kinnear is the person we want? No shame on Rory Kinnear, he's a great actor. But he's not Tom Bombadil. But hey, you know, Rings of Power is Second Age fanfic, and they mess up the timeline, like the crafting of the rings, and have watched first episode better than the first, so it's very little to be heard. Yeah, nice. But it's just the fact that they conflate the crafting of the rings, which takes place in 1600, and Ar-Pharazôn, which takes place in like 3400 or something like that. Like, there is a lot. Tom Bombadil showing up? Like, yeah, apparently in like episode 4 or something.
Welcome back. Good to see you.
Don't get me wrong, I actually really love the Tom Bombadil section of... I can't take it as canon. Well, you don't, because it's not canon, because it outright contradicts the actual text by having things take place. Like, Ar-Pharazôn... Who was the king? Hold on. Give me a moment here. Numenorian kings. Let me just have a look here. Starring at Elros. The king... Oh, there was no king in Numenor when the rings were forged, because it was a queen. It was Tar Telperion. Apparently, she sent a great navy from Numenor to Lindon to aid the elves in the War of the Elves and Sauron. Can't stand Tom Bombadil? That's fine. No, I think, like, I get why people don't like him. My favorite book of Lord of the Rings is The Ring Sets Out. It's book 1. Because I feel that more than any other book in the series, or in the Lord of the Rings, it really shows you how, I don't want to say dire, because things aren't dire in Eriador, but how devastated the land is. Like, barely anyone lives there. You know, like, They talk about the frosts. They talk about... I mean, I can't remember all of the details, but, you know, this is a land where after the frosts and after the plague and after the various wars, there's very little people living there anymore. And there's a bit where Tom Bombadil just mentions it's like, oh, that row of trees, that was the border of a, you know, mighty kingdom, but they're all dead now. And there's just something very effective about that. And I don't know, I just love the feeling of just sheer devastation and bleakness that falls over Eriador, which you get some of that in the Minas Tirith segments, because Minas Tirith is emptied. But yeah, I don't know. It's, if there's one thing I felt that was really missing from the movies, it was that feeling of just expansive nothingness. Especially in freaking Rohan, which is way too hilly and rocky to be Rohan.
I'm Ruby Nash.
They need to be undulating pasture lands.
My husband and I are prim long-timers. He fancies
Or if not
himself a
pasture, then
trader
grazing
and-
lands. Sorry, I'm on the Legendarium again. Sooner or later, my love will end up going back to the Legendarium. It's Bombadil himself I can't stand. Look, I mean, brutally honest, Bombadil I personally think is goals. He lives by himself in a self-sufficient cottage in the woods, and his favorite topics are talking about how great he dresses himself and how hot his wife is. And to be honest, I can relate. It's too jarring to be totally valid. Honestly, the most interesting part of the Tom Bombadil segments is the bit that isn't actually told to us. Because there's a bit where they're having, like, it's raining outside, and he's like, oh, Goldberry's doing her laundry. We better stay inside. And he talks about all of these, like, it's mentioned in, like, a paragraph or something, about these dark stories that he tells from beyond the dawn of time, or something like that. That's a me thing, but he talks about, like, age-old stuff, you know, like, we're talking a New Lindale level lore going on here, and we don't learn any of the stories that he tells the hobbits, and I'm like, but why not? Because that sounds cool. And I've said it before, and I'll say it again, my personal headcanon is that Tom Bombadil is a physical manifestation of the Feyre of Arda itself. The literal soul of the planet made manifest. That's my take.
Hey there, youngster.
Got anything for sale?
Hey.
No, I need sensor modules. I just want to make sure that I've got the... Is it... What do I need? Oh. Oh, cool. Companion protocol begin. Sweet. I'd like to make some ammo. I didn't realize I could do that. Sweet. Multi-tools. What? Oh, I can confirm electron charge packs? Hell yeah, because I don't have anything that uses electron charge packs, I think. So what do I need? E-cells. Wait, E-cells are electron charge packs, aren't they? No, energy cells. I need energy cells. kind of weird that I like Lord of the Rings as much as I do. I really like elves. Really
Grim
dislike
wimped
elves,
out
drow,
and
and
accepted
dark elves being
NCR
notable
rules.
exceptions.
Some people
When
will
you
do
say
it
you dislike elves, I need to ask, are you, like, what? Because, like, honestly, like, one of the biggest issues with me and elves in Lord of the Rings is I found the Silmarillion really hard
What are
to
you doing
read.
here? This is our casino, punk.
Sorry. Once I understood the plot of the Silmarillion, I really liked elves a lot more, because, like, you think of elves as these wonderful mystical people. They get freaking dark. I mean, like, the kinslaying at Aqualonde in the Silmarillion is freaking brutal. Feanor's a dick. Giant asshole. And just how much and just, like, the sheer darkness of the First Age. Like, there are moments of brightness, like Beren and Luthien's a fantastic story, I think, but it's like, just like the slow collapse of everything in Beleriand over the course of the Silmarillion, it gets dark. I mean, like, there's some good stuff going on there, and the elves are fascinating. Anyway,
We don't take kindly to tourists on our turf. You're gonna need to pay a fine if you want to leave in one piece. 100 caps should cover it. Fuck, we lose again. We heard Prim was ripe for the picking, so figured we could come here and shake down some of the suckers. We weren't expecting a sheriff here. We're just trying to put as many miles from NCR as we can. We don't want to be anywhere near New Vegas when the Legion crosses the river.
Could never get through Silmarillion. I know that the dark side's mostly yeah, quite close to perfect. Yeah, but the other thing is that because Lord of the Rings is told very much from a mannish perspective, so you get that vibe and that ethereal thing, but like, because like one of the things that a lot of people have been talking about with Brain Rings of Power is that they say that, oh, you know, like, Galadriel's supposed to be wise and kind, and the everything. No, she's not. Galadriel left Paradise. She left Valinor to come to Middle-earth with Feanor. Whether or not it's the implication, and I believe it's stated, that she didn't take place in the kinslaying. Basically, there's a bit where a bunch of elves want to go from Valinor to Middle-earth because Morgoth, the Dark Lord, has stolen these gems and killed their kin. Killed Feanor's dad, and so Feanor wants to take all his people off to there. And so they go there, and they go to the elves, the sea elves, and they're like, we need your boats. And they're like, we're not letting you have our boats. These are our boats. We need them. And they're like, no, you're giving us your boats. We swore a blood oath to get the Silmarils back. And then the Teleri are like, no, guys, you're not having them. And the Noldor straight up murder them. Like, this is in Paradise, the perfect West, and they just murder a whole bunch of them to steal their boats. And then they get cursed, and there's a whole thing. And Galadriel was part of that. Even if she didn't take place in the kinslaying, she was associated with people, and the reason why is the ridiculous swimming idea in her absurd writing says, I didn't mind Galadriel. Oh, okay. I haven't seen it, but the reason why Galadriel goes to Middle-earth is because she wants to stake a claim. She wants a kingdom of her own. She wants to rule and be powerful. And so she goes to, oh god, what's it called? I want to say it's Doriath. I want to say she goes to Doriath, and she shacks up with Melian, Melian, who is a mayor who decided that she didn't want to be a god or an angel. She just wanted to live in the forest and have a hot elf husband. And so she she literally bewitches an elf lord and says, "I'm taking you for husband," and he says, "Thank you, Mrs. May I have another?" And yeah, so that was Galadriel's senpai, basically. You know, the bread that they get in from Galadriel. They're like, yes, lembas bread, a gift to travelers. Yeah, that has to be made by the Queen of the Realm that you are given from. So Galadriel made that magic bread, and she learned how to make that from Melian. Yeah. She's nearly over to the land beyond. She doesn't decide she wants to jump off the ship and start swimming for miles to get back. No! That's not... That's not what happens. That's not what happens at all. She doesn't go back, and No, she doesn't go back to Valinor. She doesn't go back to Valinor. That's the whole point, is that she wants a land of her own. And so she stays in Middle-earth, even after Beleriand collapses. Like, the War of Wrath is so bad that it sinks an entire continent. And Galadriel, I don't know if she has the chance to go back to Valinor, but she doesn't. Sorry, we're playing a different game now.
Our luck has gone south since we lost all of our money gambling in Vegas. We didn't go AWOL
That's
from duty to
so
become
dumb.
raiders, but we've seen what the Legion does to people that survive their battles. We wanted to be gone before the fighting starts, and we heard there may be some safety up in New Canaan.
Okay, I will say one thing, though. I will say one thing in the Rings of Power defense. The only segment I've seen of that is the devastation of the Southland sequence. I don't know if it's from like episode 6 or something, where basically like they get the key and they use it to like set off Orodruin. Absolutely not book accurate because Mordor already existed, but I think that sequence is so goddamn cool. Where like they set off the volcano, and like this settlement that they're in just gets absolutely devastated, and then there's like a caption that like transforms from the Southlands into Mordor or something. I just think that was cool.
No fucking way. We're deserters now. The NCR isn't gonna throw us a ticker tape parade for going home.
Lightning turning, like, what was it? Lightning striking a Balrog or something and making Mithril? That was dumb. Again, haven't seen the show, can only comment on what I know or what I've read about it. The only sequence I've seen is that really cool bit. The orc bit was really well handled. It'd have to be. Because even Tolkien didn't know what orcs are.
No big
Early
event.
drafts of the
We've been
Silmarils,
avoiding the patrols
the
and staying
Silmarillion,
low-key
sorry.
until this mess.
Early drafts of the Silmarillion had orcs being made out of clay or earth and being animated by Morgoth's will. So they were constructs that had no real life of their own. And then as he developed goblins more as a race and as a people of their own, as you see in The Hobbit and especially in Lord of the Rings, specifically books, I want to say 3 and 6? I can't remember book 5. No, book 5, because it's got Grond. But I love, yeah, no, like, and so then he got stuck on this idea of like, well, where did orcs come from? And he never handled something, which is really tricky.
Maybe you're right. Come on, boys. Let's get the hell out of here before the law shows up.
Sorry, don't get me started. As I said, you know, you get me started on the Legendarium and I go and I go and I go. A jingle, jangle, jingle. I think it really says something about Tolkien as a person. That he was worried about the immortal souls of orcs. I mean, you are talking to someone who had to end his first ever Skyrim game because I was playing a Nord, and oh hello, what's this? I was playing a Nord, and I got to the end of the campaign, and they were like, yeah, sure, you can come to Sovngarde, you know, you're welcome here. And I was playing a werewolf, and I'm like, but my afterlife is gonna be in the hunting grounds of Hircine. And I didn't know how I felt about that, and I never figured out an answer. And that really bothered me. And yeah, so I never like really went back to that. And so then when I booted up a new game, I played a not Ventrue, what are they called? Imperial. I played an Imperial. And didn't have that problem again because it wasn't Sovngarde. You know, I wasn't playing a Nord hoping to go to Sovngarde. The afterlife for Dragon Ball X-Time? Yeah, I know. It's like...
Move along. Howdy, partner. Welcome to the Vicky
It's like-
Advance Casino and Museum.
It's like, oh, hold on. Here we go. Scan your data registry. You've been hacked.
Well, look at that. I happened across this data file locked away in an isolated subsystem.
Look, I was thinking of Imperials, and my brain went to Ventrue because I don't know, they're posh bastards. Shut up, okay? Tell me about Vicky and Vance again.
You got it, partner. Friend Slim loves to spin a yarn. First things first. Any boss you've heard about Vicky and Vance being copycats ain't nothing but ill-tempered slander. Fact is, they begun their crime spree 2 days before Bonnie and Clyde robbed their first bank. So who was copying who? Now, true, Vicky and Vance didn't exactly cut a wide swath of murder and bank robbery across the central U.S. like Bonnie and Clyde did. It was more like a narrow swath of shoplifting, check cashing fraud, and gas pump drive-offs. But crime is crime. They drove reckless, too. Having lived by the gun, well, Vance owned one anyway. It was only fitting that the duo of desperados would die by the gun. Perhaps it was fate itself that accidentally drove them into a crossfire between police and a gang of bank robbers in Plano, Texas. Or maybe they just didn't notice until it was too late. It's been said that Vicky would have tried to cash a bad check in that bank, had she lived. We'll never know for sure. All we know is that the crossfire tore the car and both occupants to pieces, and the police issued an official apology. You can put your eyes on the genuine death card just over yonder, and there's Vance's machine gun in the case next to it.
From what I've seen, he just got too depressed at Lord of the Rings 2 together. The problem with Lord of the Rings 2, you can read it. It's called The New Shadow. The ideas he came up with were very much musing around the idea of what it meant to be good and evil as men in Gondor after everything that happened in Lord of the Rings. So it's like, well, it was still, you know, like about big themes of philosophy and good and evil. But it's like, what does it mean to be in a world where magic had existed, doesn't anymore, and, you know, like, the elves are going away, the dwarves are going away, and it would have been interesting, but it was just like, that's not what he wanted. He wanted to tell these, like, big, you know, epic fantasy stories. And, like, again, go back and actually, if you actually read the problem with the Silmarillion is it's so dry, but the actual things that are happening in the Silmarillion are big, scary, and super dark, especially Turin Turambar, where, like, orcs and, you know, like, the mannish servants of Morgoth are basically all over the place. you know, like the good kingdoms are slowly being, you know, chipped away at, and you've got, you know, these, there's some dark stuff going on there. Alright, so apparently I can't tell him about the thing. What is the file that he gave me? Grab the gun. Heading back to West Side until we're ready to go. Okay, so they went to West Side. We're looking for... So, what were their names? Pauline. Sam and Pauline in West Side.
Howdy, partner. Any luck?
Okay. Alright, so what the heck are we doing here anyway? We got super distracted from Fallout. Kill the boomers. Boomers, Great Khans, Brotherhood of Steel. Brotherhood of Steel. Brotherhood of Steel are nearby, aren't they? I think they're nearby. I don't know. I think we might wrap up actually. Or head towards a place and time where we might wrap up. Oh, that's the launch thing. That round thing's the launch thingy. And we've still got the Helios 1 thing to do as well. Yeah, we're not doing that. Certainly not doing that. I don't know, maybe we might try cutting across here and see what we can find. Hidden Valley. That sounds like it's that sounds like it's Brotherhood of Steel. Maybe. What's this one? Hold on. Camp McCarran. West Side. South entrance. And then we've got all this stuff up here. Yeah, I mean, like, we're kind of all the way over at the butt end of the world here. I think we might call it there for the night. Sorry about getting distracted by Lord of the Rings discussions there in chat, but I have made it very clear, don't get me started on the Legendarium because I'll just go and go and go. Okay. We got stuff done. So I think... I don't know, like, we won't plan anything for next stream. If you listen to Kaiser about the boomers, we are done professionally. I listened to Kaiser. Whether or not I agreed with him, here's what happened for those who missed the previous stream. I went to the thing to kill Benny, and then then Kaiser said, "Hey, there's a horde of robots down there. Can you blow them up, please?" And I don't like a horde of robots, so I blew them up. I assumed that Mr. House would be fine with that. He wasn't. So then I had to kill Mr. House. I am not planning on this being a Legion run. That is not what I'm planning on this being. My associations with Kaiser are just because I'm doing things that align with him, and for the moment he can pay me. I don't think it will last past the boomers, because this is going to end up being a yes man run, probably. Probably. It'll either be a Yes Man or NCR, but I think that this is pretty clearly going to end up being a Yes Man run. So, anyway, that's exciting. We're level 13. We're a Mojave Legend, and we're gonna wrap up there for the evening. Yeah. I want to maybe boot up Oblivion at some place and play a scumbag archaeologist character. I think that'll be fun. And no one's playing anything that I want to raid into, so you take care of yourselves. We'll see you around. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow for more Monday Skyrim. We might, I don't know. Skyrim's full of fools and I'm the only smart person around. Good night.